Well, I've got the privilege of introducing one of the earliest heroes of my life. So, without any further ado...
We want Muffin, Muffin the Mule, dear Muffin, playing the fool. We want Muffin, everybody sing. We want Muffin the Mule. Hello. So you're here at last.
So the star of the show, and you are?
Will McNally.
And tell me, Will, what is your association with this fabulous mule?
Well, it was my grandparents who owned and worked him back in the 40s and 50s and through into the 60s, I suppose.
I mean, was he always called Muffin the Mule?
Well, no. He was actually made in 1933, so as a puppet, he's 84 years old this year. And it was when my grandparents, who are Anne Hogarth and Jan Bussel, and they were well-renowned puppeteers of the Hogarth Puppets, and they were touring around the country in a caravan that converted to a puppet theatre. And they were doing their shows, and they found that they were 5–10 minutes short in their length. So they needed something else. So one night, my grandfather was there, and he decided on a kicking mule. And the kicking mule was to come on at the end of the puppet circus and sort of shoo and chivvy the clowns off the stage, chasing them around this way and that. And it all went down very well. And the audiences loved it.
Yes.
But after a while, my grandparents grew a little bit bored of it.
Yeah.
And they decided to cut that part of the act out of the show. And so my grandfather was working for the BBC as a producer, and he met Annette Mills. And Annette Mills wanted to do a programme for children singing songs at a piano. And she wanted something to go on the piano top to help illustrate the songs. So she approached my grandfather and said, "Oh, Jan, would you make me a puppet?" And he sort of said, "Why don't you come round to my house and select one of my puppets?" Well, Annette, fortunately, thought that was a great idea, and so she went round to her house the very next day and selected the kicking mule and named him Muffin the Mule.
Wonderful, wonderful. And as for Annette Mills, who, by the way, was the sister of John Mills, Sir John
Correct.
Mills.
Yes.
We got a photograph of her way back at the BBC, at her piano, with Muffin in full flow. And you can see your grandparents up there.
That's right. Well, Annette was the face that everyone knows, you know, because she was the one on TV. But it was my grandmother who worked Muffin, my grandfather worked the others, and he was the TV producer and director of the shows all back in those days.
This is a programme that lasted until 1955, am I right to say?
That's right,
So
yes.
tell me, where's he stable these days?
Oh, back home with me in Devon.
But he's never out of retirement, is he?
No, we go around and we do a few presentations here and there,
Okay.
and I'm hoping I might be able to get him back on TV one
Yeah.
day.
Well, you know, I've got to value this fella. I mean, how do you value a TV icon? It's really difficult. Now, I should point out for the benefit of the viewers that there are a lot of Muffin the Mules out there which are made from a die-cast metal.
That's right.
I mean, they produce thousands of them, and they do turn up with a certain amount of regularity on the Roadshow.
They certainly do, yeah.
But what we're looking at here is much larger in scale and is the original.
He is the original. He is the one and only that was made in 1933.
I will give you a modest guesstimate that he's worth at least £5,000.
Yeah.
But I'm tempted to opening the bidding to all these people here and see where we go. But thank you so much.
Oh, it's a pleasure.
This sounds a bit silly, but despite the years, I still want to kiss this fella. Do you mind if I come here? Come here.
Oh.
I've missed you too. You can call me bonkers. I don't care. I don't care. Oh.